So we have seen yesterday various features in the debugging. So today we are going to see the other features. One second. So first, let's see how can we put breakpoint at specific statement, like select statement or function modules or messages, subroutines. So if you want to put breakpoint at specific statements, then we have an option in the debugging mode. Go to breakpoints, and from here onwards we can choose breakpoint at, and from here onwards we can choose breakpoint at statement. So right now, if you see in this list, there is no select query, like select statement is not there. So if you want to put a breakpoint at a specific statement, then we have to choose this option, breakpoint at statement. Whenever you want to put a breakpoint specifically at a statement, then we can choose this option. From the menu bar, first you need to choose breakpoint, then choose breakpoint at, and from here onwards, you can click on breakpoint at statement. So in this scenario, I want to put breakpoint wherever the select queries are there in the program. So those all the select queries should be kept the breakpoint. Like automatically, it should be create a breakpoint wherever the select queries are there. Instead of putting manually, I want to put the breakpoint wherever the select queries are being used in the program. There it should be placed, there it should be created breakpoint. So just you need to write the statement like select and click on continue. Now see, at 44th line, one breakpoint is created. 53 line, one breakpoint is created. Only two select queries are used. So that is the reason only two breakpoints are created. So here I haven't created manually. I went to breakpoint, then I selected breakpoint at, then breakpoint at statement. There I have given select. So in this program, wherever select statement is there, in those all statements, breakpoint will be created like this. So this is the additional feature we have. Because in real time, we might be having thousands of lines of code. Suppose if you want to check all the select queries, we don't want to put manually, right? How many breakpoints will put manually? So instead of that, we will choose the shortcut. And similar way, suppose I will delete that. Suppose if I want to create a breakpoint wherever the function modules are used in the program, then I need to select breakpoint at function module. So in the program, wherever function modules are created, then in those places, breakpoint will be created. In this current program, we don't have any function modules, so I'll go back to any program. So in this program, we have a one function module. So as of now, I don't create any breakpoint. Directly, I'll click on execute, and here I will pass the input. From here onwards, I'll put dynamic debugging. Then I click on execute. So as of now, no breakpoint is created at 12th line. If you see, there is no breakpoint. Now I'll create a breakpoint wherever the call function. So function model in the sense, the starting statement will be starts with call function. Call function. So I will put a breakpoint wherever the call function is there. Then I'll put a breakpoint. So wherever we have used function models in our program, those all places breakpoint will be created. So again, select breakpoint, breakpoint at function module. And from here, okay, I think we need to give the function module's name. Which is my function module. So this option will be created like if we have choose this option, let me go back again. So if we have choose this breakpoint at function module, then it will create a breakpoint at specified function module. Suppose in my program, I have used this function module. Suppose if you want to debug at specified function module, then you can choose this option because in a program, multiple function modules are used. But if you want to check a specific function module, like if you see in this program, I have used ZSM2, which is ending with FM1. Suppose if I want to check only this function module, then I can choose this option, breakpointed function module, and here I can give the function module name. So in this program, wherever the function module is created, that place breakpoint will be created. Let me take it for help. I'll do this one only. Mm, CSM2. Okay, this is the one. Breakpoint set. Okay, let me do F6. Now it is stopping at here, call function. Now see inside this function module, a breakpoint is created. If you see inside, it went in, even though I did F6, it went inside of the function module and it has created a breakpoint. It wasn't created breakpoint in the initial screen. Let me go back again. In this initial screen, it wasn't created any breakpoint, but inside of this function module, it has been created a breakpoint. So if you want to go inside of a specific function module, then we can choose this option, breakpoint at function module. So it will be stop you within the function module. But if you want to check wherever the function modules are used in your program, if you want to create a breakpoint, then again we have to go to breakpoint at statement. Here you can write call function. So call function is nothing but whenever we call a function module, the statement will be starts with call function. If you see 12th line, call function, function module name is there. Suppose if you want to create breakpoints in all the function modules which are used in the program, then we can give a statement call function. Click on continue. Now see at 12th line, a breakpoint is created. Suppose if I used one more function module in my program, similar way it will create one more breakpoint wherever the call function statement is there. Again, what do we have? And similar way, this is methods. Exception, these are belongs to object-oriented ABAP. And if you want to, suppose there are some messages in our program, suppose if you want to check specify, if you want to know how the message is being triggered, then we can choose this option. Breakpoint at message. And here you need to give the message ID. And suppose if your program is using global message, then only we can able to check, because if you see, there is an option where we have to give the message ID and message number. Which type of message you have used in your program, you need to specify here. Message ID where we have given in SC91 transaction code. Suppose if I take F for help, I have only one message ID. So that is ZSM0 message. And in this message class, which message I have used in my program. In this current program, I haven't used any message. Suppose if I have used, let me take CSM. Suppose if I have used message number 001 and I'm displaying as error message in my program, then I can give in this way. If I click on continue, then it will be created breakpoint at this message. So right now in this program, I haven't used. So if you want to check a specific message, then you need to give the message ID, message number, what is the message type. So these all you need to specify based on your program. Suppose left side in my program, I have written like message, ZSM0 message, E001 means I have defined that I am creating a error message in this message class. So I have seen from the program, then I gave the inputs in the screen. So in that way, we can check the messages also. And suppose if you want to delete any messages, sorry, if you want to delete breakpoints or if you want to deactivate breakpoints, we do have an option. Let me come out from this one. Now I'll put a breakpoint here and I'll put a breakpoint here also. So I created breakpoints and so I ran the program. I have created the breakpoints in the program and I checked the debugging. Now there is a scenario like suppose I haven't traced out any error at the moment, but I want to check one more time. Like I done the debugging, but I couldn't trace out the errors. So what I'll do again, I'll start the debugging. So at that time, instead of deleting the breakpoints, we can deactivate all the breakpoints. So instead of go back and delete the breakpoints in the program, what we'll do? We will use a shortcut. If you deactivate the breakpoints, what will happen? In this session, it will be closed. Again, whenever you run the same program, it will turn into the debugging mode. Suppose um, I'll go to breakpoint and I'll click on deactivate all the breakpoints. Now see, temporarily these are deactivated. Temporarily these are deactivated. Now I have executed the program. Again, I came back and again I wanted to check same. So what I'll do, I'll execute. See, again it is turned into the debugging mode because I have not deleted these breakpoints. Now you see, it is active mode. It is appearing with red color. So if you want to check one more time in the debugging mode, then temporarily you can deactivate the breakpoints. Instead of deleting, you can deactivate the breakpoints. Like whenever we want to check again and again, instead of deleting and creating the breakpoints, we can use this option, deactivate breakpoints. So at certain point of time, it will deactivate the breakpoint. Again, when you will execute the same program, again those breakpoints will be active mode. Now there is a scenario, you have found the issue where it is exiting the program and you don't want to do debugging again. Suppose in the same program, you kept up to 25 breakpoints. So what will happen? You need to delete everything. Instead of deleting each and everything, you can choose delete all breakpoints. So whenever you choose delete all breakpoints, it will delete permanently. It will delete permanently. So if you have chosen that first option, it will delete permanently. Again, if you execute, see, it doesn't went to the debugging mode. Directly it was given the output. So whenever we create breakpoints in the program, if you want to delete it, you can choose delete all the breakpoints. If you want to deactivate for certain amount of time, then you can click on deactivate. So right now these are not deleted because I haven't refreshed. So what I'll do slash in SC38 and I'll come to the same program. Now see, there was a breakpoint here. Now it is deleted. So whenever we choose delete all the breakpoints, it will delete the breakpoints permanently. If you run the same program, you need to create again new breakpoint. Suppose if you deactivate the breakpoint, in that execution time, it will be deactivated. Suppose if you run the same program, again it will turn into the debugging mode. So these two are the additional options to delete the breakpoints. Or else, suppose these two breakpoints you created, and if you don't want to choose those two options, you need to come back and you need to remove manually like this. Either you can remove manually or else we can use that option. So either way we can do. Now I have deleted. Is completed. Okay. Then the last one is watch point. So we have one more option, that is watch point. So with the help of watch point, we can able to monitor the values which are being changing or which are being inserted into work areas, internal tables and variables. Suppose we have internal table and work area, and same internal table you are using for uh, fetching from the another table. So what will happen if you want to monitor how the values are being changed from first query to second query? If you want to monitor those records, then we can use watch points. In the debugging mode, you can able to monitor with the help of watch points. If you want to monitor any values of variables or work areas, internal tables, in future we have a concept called field symbols. So whenever we want to monitor any values from the different data mediums, then we can use this watch point option in the debugging. So let me go. Suppose I'll go to this program, and here, whenever the internal table is filling, like I want to check when the internal table is being filled. So in this program, I have used internal table, which is storing the customer master data of these four fees. What I will do, I'll execute. So I have created I have created debugging with the help of dynamic breakpoint. And I click on execute. I'll choose desktop 3. And so to create watch points, here we have an option watch point. So if you want to create a watch point, you can click on this one. Suppose if I want to know when this internal table is created or when this internal table is being filled. So I'll enter the internal table name. So this program name is automatically filled. Just you need to give the variable name. After that, click on continue. Now I'll check internal table. As of now, this internal table is 0. As of now, this internal table is 0. Now, if I want to know what watch point I have created. So if you want to know the details, just use this tab. Break or watch point is there. Click on the tab and here choose watch points. See, one watch point is created. At which position I have created? At variable ITKNA1. So in this variable, I have created a watch point. So if you want to know at which position or at which variable you have created a watch point, you can choose this tab, break or watch points. From this, you can choose watch points. And here under the breakpoints, you can see if any breakpoint is created, that will be listed here. But in this program, I have I use debugging with the help of dynamic breakpoint. So that is the reason it is not specifying any statement. I'll go to desktop 3. See here any specific like it select query or loop statement. I haven't created any breakpoint. So that is the reason under the breakpoint tab, it is not filled anything. Now I'll do F6. I'll do F6. Now see, there is a status message, watch point reached. And if you look at the internal table, it is filled. So whenever it is filled, automatically this watch point is triggered. Like this variable is filled or you have reached the watch point which you have created. So system will be notify us whenever we reach the watch point which we have created. So I have created a watch point at the internal table. So when it is created or when it is filled, then we will get a notification like you have reached the watch point. If you look at the internal table, this internal table is filled up. So in this way, we'll get the notification from the watch point. So similar way, we can create up to 10 watch points in a single program. You can create up to 10 watch points in a single program. So you can create up to 30 breakpoints in a single program, 10 watch points in a single program. Suppose if you want to know, like here I have monitored internal table. Suppose if you want to monitor uh, a specific record. For example, in this internal table, we have three records. Suppose I want to monitor whenever the customer number is this. Suppose if I want to monitor like that, then I can able to give the value also. I can able to give the value also. Suppose I'll copy this value. I'll go to desktop 3. Let me exit from the program. So again, I'll click on watch point. So I want to monitor whenever 31 customer number is being inserted into internal table. So I want to monitor at a specific record. So whenever we want to monitor a specific record in the internal table, so the internal table is filling with the help of work area. So here I need to specify work area. So work area is nothing but in this program, I have used work area KNA1. Because with the help of work area, we are filling at a time one by one record into internal table. So whenever I want to monitor a particular record, which is being inserted into internal table. So that will be inserted into internal table with the help of work area. So that is the reason here I have given work area. But work area can have at a time one record with these 4 field values. But at which particular value I want to check it? Whenever the customer number is 31. So this work area is having 4 fields. Kunar, name 1, LAN 1, ORT01. But my condition is whenever the customer number is 31, I want to monitor it whenever it is being inserted into a work area or internal table. So here I need to specify the condition. At the bottom, 3 condition entries there. So here we need to give the condition where work area KNA1 and work area KNA1 is having 4 columns. But I want to check whenever the customer number is 31. So here I need to write when Kunar is equal to in single quotes, whatever the copied data is there, I have written. So whenever this customer number is being inserted, then watch point will be notified us. So after giving this one, click on continue. Now see, whenever we create a watch point, you can see the status message, watch point created. So we created the watch point. Now, let me double click on work area KNA1 and IT KNA1. So as of now, work area is empty, not yet created. If I double click on it, see, it is not filled. Work area is not filled. Now I'll do F6. Again F6. So internal table is having 3 records, but my condition is whenever whenever it is inserting the 31 customer number, I want to see. So with the help of work area, I will be notified. So again, I'll do F6, F6, F6. So if you see site abix is 1, so in this loop, first record will be going to inserted in this internal table. And if I do this one, so if you see the customer number is ending with 4 all zeros, like 1 ending with 4 zeros. So this is not my customer number where I want to get notified. So again, I'll do F6. So now site habits will be 2. So second loop iteration is going on. Now see what is the customer number. Like if I double click on work area KNA1, what is the customer number? 401. So this is not exactly which I want to fetch. So again, I'll do F6. Even I don't get any notification here. Now see, site habits is 3. And if you look at the bottom, watch point reached work area KNA1. Why I got the notification? If you look at the work area is inserted 31 customer number. So if I want to monitor at a specific record, that is also possible. So in this final loop statement, this internal table, when it is inserted the 31 customer number in the third iteration, if I open this internal table, if you look at the row number, see what is the index number? 3 only. And site habits also 3. So in this internal table, when it is inserted at the third iteration, and also if you look at the work area, uh, just now we have seen a notification, watch point is reached. And if you look at the site habits also, it is giving the same index number. So in that way, we can monitor the values. Either you can monitor whole internal table or work area. Suppose if you want to create a local, suppose if you want to monitor the variable value, similar way you can give the variable name, like how I have given work area name, internal table name. You can specify the variable name. So with the help of watch points, we can able to monitor the values when it is being inserted or when the values are being changed. If you want to monitor it, we can use watch points in our debugging. So any doubts in this?
No, sir.
Sit here, everyone. So this is completed debugging. And then, so till now we have seen various concepts. Like first we have completed um, fundamentals of ABAP. Then we have seen data dictionary. After that, we have seen modulation techniques, debugging. Now, this is the new topic reports. So, reports is a main topic in ABAP. If you remember, in the first session, I believe I have explained all the technical objects are created using 6 objects, rise of W. So, in the rise of W, the first letter is R. R in the sense reports. So today I'm going to cover like introduction of these reports. So report is nothing but it is an executable program which is used to read the data from the database table and display the data in a required format. It can be list format or grid format. So it depends on the user requirement. We can able to display the data in a organized structure. So that is nothing but a report. So report is a executable program. Executable program in the sense, whenever we create a new program in SE38, we used to select from a drop down executable or include program, right? So for reports, we have to choose the type as executable program. And in future, we have few concepts like where we can able to display the data in the form of list or grid with the help of few function modules. So those also comes under reports only. So whenever user want to see the data in an organized format, then with the help of reports, we can able to display the data. So these reports are 2 types, classical report, interactive report. So classical reports are nothing but these are the simple reports. So classical report is nothing but simple report, which is used to read the data from the database table and display the data in the output screen. If you remember, till now we have created such a way only. So this is a program and we are reading the data from the database table. Like this is the database table and we are displaying the data using a write statement. So this is nothing but a simple classical report. This is also a classical report. But here I haven't used any events. We have some additional options for the reports. Those are nothing but events. But this is a report, simple report where I haven't used any events, but I'm reading the data from the database table and I'm displaying the data with the help of simple write statement. So this is also a classical report where we have input screen. So in classical reports, generally we will be having two screens. One is input screen, the other one is output screen. So input screen is nothing but selection screen where we are entering the input. So here country I am entering US. By default, I have given it as user US. So this report is having selection screen and as well as if I execute, I am able to see the output. So this is nothing but a classical report. And here I am displaying the data with the help of simple write statement. So that is the reason this report we call it as a classical report. So a report or a program which reads the data from the database table and process the data. Process the data is nothing but suppose if we have any data manipulations like any calculations are there or any internal table operations are there like reading the data or modifying the data. So those are comes under process the data and display the data in the required format. So required format in the sense, suppose user want to see the data in a grid format, then we need to display in the grid format. Suppose if user want to see the data in list format, we can able to display the data in the list format. Or if they don't have any specific thing, then we will write with a simple write statement, as we have seen in this example. So these type of reports we call it as a classical report. And so in classical report, we will be having output only one screen. In classical report, we will display the data, output data in only single screen. So single screen in the sense, um, whenever I click on execute, so here only one screen is displayed for the output. Suppose if I double click on anything, it is not navigating to any other screen. Like if I double click something, so it is not navigating into any other screen. So classical report is nothing but which is used to read the data from the database table and process the data, which is used to display in the output screen in a required format. And it will display the data only one screen, one single screen. So the output, it will be displayed in only one screen. Such type of reports we call it as a classical report. So in future, we have one more concept called interactive report. So interactive report in the sense, it can have multiple screens, like the output can have multiple screens. Suppose this is one screen. If I double click on somewhere, it will be navigate to another screen. So that is nothing but interactive report. But in classical report, where we can see the output, it is a single screen. So for this, I'll take you simple example. Suppose if I go to SC11, when we have created, so, okay, let me take any database table. So this is a database table, um, Marcy. And from here onwards, there is a material number, matnar. So this data element is matnar. Suppose if I double click on this one, see the screen has been changed. So it went to data element. Suppose if I double click on domain, again it went to another screen. look at the title bar, display domain is there. So this is another screen. So first I went to database table creation table. From there, I came to data element. And from here onwards, again I came to domain. So from one screen to, I came back to two more screens. Just by double clicking, I came to two more screens. So these type of reports, we call it as a interactive report. So these all already created by SAP. But if you are creating a custom one, so those are comes under interactive report based on the user action. It will be navigate to the next screen. Suppose in this scenario, in this example, I just double click on the data element. So it went to the next screen. Again, I double click on the domain. Again, it went to the next screen, right? So in this scenario, I just double click on the data element and domain. But in reports, we will double click on a record because in the reports, we will display the data in the form of records. If you remember, if this is a report, and here there are some records which we are fetching from the database table. If I double click on any record, then it will be navigate to the next screen. So such type of reports we call it as an interactive report, where we have the basic list and secondary list. Basic list in the sense first output screen, which we are able to see the first output screen. That list we call it as a basic list. Suppose if I double click on this one, it will navigate to the next screen. So that is nothing but secondary list. So if a report is having basic list and secondary list, that report we call it as an interactive report. Or if a report is having only basic list like this, then we call it as a classical report. So in classical report, we have some events. So we already learned events. Have you remember events? Any events which we discussed in previous session? Till now, do we use any events in our programs? No one remember. Have you practiced internal table? No response. At the time of internal table concept, I have explained few events. At first, at new, at last. Have you remembered that? Those are the events. Do you remember that? These members are there. No one remember even one event.
Yes, Neha, we remember.
See, whenever
Control
I
break
have
statements.
explained, yes, yes, exactly. Practice it because same kind of concepts we will be discussed in the coming up classes also. So that is the reason I always used to say practice it. So event is nothing but it, like whenever we perform any action that will be triggered, or else whenever it reaches a certain amount of time, then it will be triggered automatically. So event can be triggered either we perform any action or either it can be reached a certain time. So two ways a event will be triggered. So any user action in the sense, suppose, for example, just 1 second. Mm. Suppose in this screen, when I click on this back, that icon, it came back to the previous screen, meaning I have performed an action. Suppose if I click on again that button, see again it came back to the program screen. Suppose if I click on this execute, then it is going to execute the program. So whenever I'm clicking, or whenever, suppose in this, I changed the data like IN. I'm entering the country IN and I'll click enter. So it will be fetch the country which are belongs to India. Then I click on execute. So it is displaying the data which are belongs to India country. So here I I have entered the data and I pressed enter. Then I click on this button. So these are nothing but actions. So whenever I perform click or enter, so at that time some events will be triggered automatically. So that is the reason screens are being changed. Backend, if you see here, when I click on execute, automatically screen is changing. From selection screen to it will be display output screen. So how it is happening? By an event. So there are some events which will be triggered whenever we perform these actions. So backend there is a logic which is written by SAP. Whenever we press enter, whenever we click on some icons, or whenever we click on some buttons, this should be happen. So like that, SAP has written the logic. So that is the reason whenever we click on any icons or any buttons, some actions are performing automatically because of the events. Suppose if I click on this more button, this drop down, it is displaying this list because I have performed this action. So a event will be triggered in the backend. According to that, it is displaying this one. So similar way, if we want to use the events, so we have to know first of all, either it will be triggered automatically, or either it will be triggered by any user action like press enter or click, either single click or double click. So that we need to know before we are using events in our program. We need to know when it is triggering, either it is triggering automatically when it reaches a certain amount of time, or else is it triggering based on the user action. So we have various classical report events are there. So first we'll see initialization. So before this initialization, let's discuss about one input. So as we have discussed in the selection screen, we can create two ways using parameters and select options. Can you confirm? Did I explain select options in our previous sessions? I believe I haven't explained this one. Did I explain the select options?
No, Sneha.
Okay. Okay. So first we'll discuss the select option, then I'll explain initialization. So to create input screen, we have two ways. One is parameters, the other one is select options. So parameters we already seen in our previous programs, which is used to create a single input. If you want to pass single input value, then we can create parameters. But if user want to pass a range of inputs, then we can create select option, where it will be enable us to provide low value as well as high value. So that will be achieved with the help of select options. So let's go to a program. So same program, I'll use same program instead of creating new one. Um, I think server is down again. Uh, Let's wait few more minutes. And also, I have seen only one message class is created, that is mine. I believe no one is created message class. Practice everyone.